What's up guys, Card Protagonist here. Today I'm gonna do an updated deck profile on my Altmile Brave deck from the brand new cards from GBT-10. So with the brand new cards, my deck has gone through some brand new transformation, mainly from changing the Transcending the Heaven engine all the way to using the Holy Dragon Luminous Hope Dragon from the brand new card from GBT-10. So this is a brand new triple R that Royal Paladin has basically received from GBT-10, and I can say that he's actually worth the trouble because to be honest, I'm not really a huge fan of Brave. You guys know me, but this guy is actually too good to not be played, and I really like how this mechanic works because to be honest, the Brave it actually should reward the player for actually being brave, you know, and this card actually perfectly fits the role. So what this card does is it is able to call extra units when it attacks, and it also has an inbuilt crit in it. And of course, it also has an activate ability which allows it to gain +10k power and powering up all your Brave rear guards, which is very nice. So I'm going to go through deck profile, and honestly, I actually really like this deck. This deck is actually similar to my old OTK Altmile, which allows me to do 100k, but of course this is in the Brave variant, and this is actually really consistent. So let's get on the deck profile. So first up, the great trees to play is 4 copies of the brand new Altmile. So it's Royal Decree Altmile. His skill is when this Brave, GB2 Brave, choose select 5 rear guards and it gives us 4k power. So if you do not have your stride, if you're not striding, you can always use your skill. It still gives your whole field a very nice plus 4k. So you're still getting huge amount of power. Definitely worth it. Second ability is during your start of your right phase, you can select 1 card on your hand and call it to your rear guard circle. If you do, that unit gains us 4k power. So it's just very nice because it's for free. And of course, to boot, he also has the third ability. Whenever it performs stride, you may call up to 1 card from your hand to your rear guard circles. After that, select 1 Brave ability and it gives us 4k power on your field. So the nice thing is you may call, so you can choose to skip calling and just go to the power up. So definitely, if you do not have cards in your hand, you can also just activate its plus 4k skill. Very nice. So next time we play 3 copies of the older Altmile, the original Altmile. GB2, your front row gives us 5k power. Strike break skill, whenever you perform strike, you may pay the cost of 1 counter blast. If you do, select up to 2 cards from your hand and call it to the rear guard circle, similar to its skill, similar to the new Altmile skill. And then select 2 cards on your field, it gives us 5k power. So of course, the brand new one's better because it is for free. And Counter Blast in this deck is really important because with Counter Blast you're able to pull off lots of attacks, which of course finishes our opponents off. Alright, that is our grade 3 lineup. I'm sorry if I'm not using the other format because my tripod is actually damaged, so I'm actually gonna do deck profiles like this for quite some time until I get a new tripod. So the grade 2s we play a Knight of Enlightenment, Albion. So Albion is the card from Treachery Next. It's actually quite an interesting card because he's actually the replacement for my Knights of Twin Sword. Knights of Twin Sword is great and all. Of course, the only problem of Albion only got the Soul Blast cost, but with this deck it's not a problem. And Albion is in a way more consistent with pulling off the OTK combo because this card needs to be boosted, and sometimes if you run out of boost, if you don't have a booster, you're unable to call cards. So in a way, I actually prefer Albion. It makes the decks much more consistent. GB1, when this unit attacks the Vanguard, it may pay the cost. Count Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 card with a Brave ability, call it to your rear guard circle, and until your turn that unit gains a skill, Brave, when that unit attack hits the Vanguard, it may return it to your hand. So of course, what we're gonna do is, since I actually mentioned that it's replacement for Knights of Twin Sword, we basically call Sliman. Then Sliman attacks, call him out again. He attacks again, call Sliman. Sliman attacks again, call him out again. And finally, we end off with the next card, which is Knight of his name is quite long, Redon. Yeah, I'm sorry, because the Japanese name I can't actually pronounce it. Brave. When you have 3 or less cards in your hand, your front row, other than this card, gains plus 3k power. So the one thing you can note is if you really want to play him, you can actually just put him in the back and your front row still gains 3k power, which is his main reason why you can call it the back is because of his second skill. When this is placed on the rear guard circle due to an effect of your card, so basically when this card is being superior caught, so you can actually use it in 2 ways. Either it's being caught by stuff like recruiters, or called by Altmile. So even you can actually use his Altmile strike rate skill, call him, and you'll be able to gain that bonus 3k. So that's something cool to note. It gives us 3k power while you control an Altmile Vanguard. And of course, when you have face a card in your G zone, you can choose a card from your hand and you may discard it. If you do, this unit gains boost. So you can actually code it as a booster. It's actually a 12k booster, which is actually pretty cool. Because 12k boosting most of the units on the field, 9k attacker, 12k booster, that's the magic number of your opponents have to cut for 15k. So we actually play 3 copies of him. Alright. And finally, one of my favorite finishers, 3 copies of Slayman. Slayman ability is when this unit attacks the Vanguard, it may pay the cost of Con Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1. If you're the Altmile Vanguard, you may superior call 1 grade 2 from a deck, call it the Vanguard Circle. And this unit and that unit gets 2k power. That is pretty cool because you're able to chain combo attacks so that your opponent have to guard for lots more. Of course, he also has the Brave ability, which means he's 12k attacker when you're in Brave. Right. The final grade 2s we play is 2 copies of Hope Song Angel. So what Hope Song does is, when you see this placed on the Vanguard or Vanguard Circle, read as a Vanguard or call to the Vanguard Circle, you may pay the cost of 1 Counter Blast and 1 Soul Blast. If you do, search your deck for 1 Brave ability and call it to a Vanguard Circle. Very nice because you can even call Altmile itself. You could call a grade 1, 2, 3, 0. So sometimes you actually want to call some stuff like Dogi. Because Dogi, she is Brave ability, so you can actually draw a free card at the end of turn. So this card is very good and actually makes Royal Paladin very unique because early game, it doesn't have the GB1 skill. So early game, before even right to grade 3, you can rush with him early game. So opening with him in your hand is actually very good. One of my favorite strategies to rush early. Alright, that is our grade 2s. Let's go on to our grade 1s. 4 copies of Silica. So basically what he does is he's basically our Strike Helper. This is a Strike deck and an Altmile deck. So drop him for Strike. And another skill is when he's called to the Vanguard Circle from your hand, you may review a grade 3 from your hand and search your deck for 1 card with the Altmile in the name. So you can either search for your old Altmile or your new Altmile. After you do, you can discard 1 card from your hand and shuffle a deck. So this is good because it allows you to choose what Altmile you want to add, what Altmile you want to write, which is the main target is going to be the new Decree Altmile. Okay, 3 perfect guards. Actually, we play 4. This is from the Try 3 next set. I actually give him a try. The Security Knight Regius. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Altmile, you may soul charge 1. Then, if the number of cards in your hand is 1 or less, you can choose one of your units that's being attacked. It cannot be hit until the end of the battle. Well, this is good against Brawlers, because Brawlers attack multiple times, Vermilion Thunderbolt as well. So you can protect one of the rear guards doesn't get destroyed. Pretty nice because Narukami Vanquisher is actually quite dangerous because it attacks multiple attacks sometimes. Yeah. And we play 1 copy of the I think it's Hope Angel, Hope Guardian. Brave, where this unit is called the Vanguard Circle, it gains us 2k power. So during Brave, she's a very nice 8k booster, and she gains a skill. When it's at the end of turn, you can Counter Blast 1 and return her back to your hand. Not really a fan of her Counter Blast skill, but she is very nice for the 8k boost if you need to push for game. So that's our perfect guard lineup. You could play Unflippers if you want, it's all up to player preference. I'm currently testing out this. 3 copies of her. She is from the Child deck. Brave. At the end of turn, you can pay the cost of retiring her. If you do, you can draw 1 card and counter charge 2. This deck eats quite a lot of Counter Blast, and if you do the combos during the end of, if you do the combo which is the loop combo, you'll be eating up a ton of Counter Blast. So during the end of turn, she actually helps you reduce the cost, so that the next turn, if you survive, you can actually pull off another round of those disgusting combos that you love. 3 copies of Saber X, because she looks like Saber, I guess. Her skill is when this unit is called to the Vanguard Circle for this turn, she gains plus 2k power. Very, very nice because she's a 9k. The reason why I use her over the Desert Runner, which I used in my previous deck, yeah, the one that is when it's in Brave then it gives us 2k power, is because she is a guaranteed 9k even if you are not in Brave yet. keyword yet. So one thing to note is this deck is meant to be built, right? I actually focused my winning image in getting the magic columns while superior calling like crazy. So if you guys can see, most of my regards, the 2 combo pieces boosted. This is most likely going to be a 12k attacker, similar to Slayman. If boosted by 9k, it is magic number. Your opponent have to drop 1 extra card to guard. So that's why she is really dang good, and you really want that 9k booster, no matter what, right? So that's 3 copy of her, and that's our grade 1 lineup. Alright, finally let us go on to our triggers. Triggers are pretty much standard. If you guys watch my Brave deck profiles, it's pretty much not going to change. 4 copies of the Altmile crit. Pro tip, early game, if you want to rush, you could actually just throw him on the field and just rush. Alright, what I do is usually, if I'm reading this Altmile, I'll just go crazy and drop my whole hand on the field and just attack, because I want to swing my opponent to 4 damage ASAP so that I can finish him off with my strike. So during, if you guys, I mean, most of my games I usually win in first or second strike because of how rushed this deck is. And the first strike, of course, pulling off the combo is no joke as well. So 4 copies of him. When your Vanguard with the Altmile the name attacks, well, this guy can on the field can go into the soul of your Vanguard. If you do, you can draw 1 card, and the Vanguard gains us 5k power. Very nice. It's a good deal. So 4 copies of crits again. So I believe it's an 8 crit deck. I do not play 12 crits because you could play 12 crits if you want. Personally, the reason why I don't play 12 crits is because I love to play her, one of my favorite units. She always comes to save me. Brave. When this is placed on the Vanguard circle, for until end of turn, she gains a skill. At the end of turn, you can shuffle her back into your deck and draw 1 card. So one cool thing to note is, when you are in Brave, once you call onto a field, even if you draw more than 5 cards, the Brave activate is still in there. So when you call her during the time, at the time you are Brave, you are safe. You can draw 20 cards, you're still gonna activate her Brave at the end of turn to draw more cards into your hand. Give you the additional defensive option. So for heal triggers, we played the Trout deck heals. Heals are very important because G Guardians is one of your lifesavers right now. Starter, we play Another Discipline, Electos. Electos is very important because he helps us go into Brave during the battle phase. So basically what he does is GB1, counterblast 1, and you may put this unit into your soul. If you do, at the beginning of your battle phase, you may pay the cost. If you do, you can draw a card. And the Brave abilities of your cards are active until the end of turn. So if you want to pull off his ability, he will activate even if you have 1,000 cards in your hands. So it's very good because there are turns that your hands will actually grow quite a lot. So you want to activate him so that you can pull off your Brave abilities. Second skill is activate Brave. If you have 3 or less cards in your hand, you can rest this unit, choose one of your other units, and you gain 3k power until end of turn. So what I usually like to do is have Brave, rest him, activate first skill, go into Soul of Vanguard, then Brave will rest a turn so that I can draw extra cards. Actually doesn't matter. So yeah, he's a pretty neat skill because he guarantees that your battle phase will be a Brave battle phase so that you can pull off all your sexy combos. Right, that is our grade 0s. Let's go on to our strike units. 4 copies of Holy Dragon, Luminous Hope Dragon. Brand new card from GBT-10. So what he does is, once per turn, choose a face down card in your G zone and turn it face up. Until end of turn, for each Holy Dragon, Luminous Hope Dragon on your G zone, this unit gains us 10k power. And all your regards with the Brave ability gain plus 1k power. So that additional 1k helps you fix a lot of magic numbers. And of course, the later the game goes, the more powerful these beasts becomes. So use his skill wisely, because if your opponent has a perfect guard, you might not want to go for him so soon. Second skill is Brave. It's an auto ability. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, when this unit attacks, if the number of your cards with the Brave ability in your G zone is 2 or more. So the reason why I say I built this deck based on him is because I actually had to cut a copy or 2 of Altmile in order to add more units with Brave into my G zone so that I can pull off his skill. So if the number of Brave ability in your G zone is 2 or more, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 card and call it to Vanguard circle. Then, if it's 3 or more, he gains a crit. So he gains a crit. And then shuffle your deck. So very good, because at Brave, you're not only gaining one card, you're also gaining critical, which pressures your opponent to guard. So it's pretty nice. It's kind of like Transcending Heaven, just that it doesn't have the power boost, but the power boost is already fulfilled with the help of your powerful rear guards we have in the previous booster sets. So 4 copies of him, because the deck actually revolves around him now. Pretty dang good card. Next up, 3 copies of Aerial Divine Knight Altmile, a classic staple, but we play at 3 because we do not focus our winning image on him anymore. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, you may pay the cost of flipping a copy of yourself face up. If you do, if you have 2 or more face up cards in your G zone, you may actually search your deck for 1 grade 2 and call it to a Vanguard circle, and it gains us 5k power. And for this turn, your front row gains us 3k power, which is good because it helps you boost up your unit so that you can hit magic numbers. Right, so it basically for no count blast cost, it actually recruits you a free card while giving it power. Amazing. 3 copies is because we actually use him one time strike for itself. Another time we actually use Transcending Heaven, flip a copy itself face up, front row plus 6k, and you can do some decent damage. Okay, speaking of which, play 1 copy of Transcending the Heaven Altmile. Once per turn, activate, count blast 1 and flip a copy of Altmile card face up, I believe. Yeah, flip a copy of an Altmile card face up. If you do, it gains a skill. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, it can super call 1 card, 1 grade 2 from your deck into a Vanguard circle. That unit gets 5k power. And a second skill, for each Aerial Divine Knight face up in your G zone, your front row gains us 2k power. So most likely we're going to get a 6k power. So 6k power is pretty important because it helps hit your next magic number. Right? We play 2 copies of Fides. Fides is basically our first strike of the game right now. So once per turn, activate skill, flip a copy of your G zone face up. You can flip any card face up, but you're gonna flip him face up because you do not need to flip him face up. Yeah. Okay, skill is turn 1 card in the G zone face up and discard a card from hand. I almost forgot his card. The fact that he has to discard such a deck for up to 1 grade 2 card and call it to Vanguard circle, shuffle the deck. And if the unit card has a Brave ability, you can draw a card. So basically the cost is for free, except for 1 count blast. Yeah, no, it doesn't have count blast. Yeah, so until your turn, this unit gets a skill, GBT-10 Brave. When this unit attacks and you have a face up card called Blazing Sword Feeders in your G zone, choose up to 1 of your opponent's rearguards to retire it. Choose up to 2 of your units, it gives us 5k power. So very, very interesting skill because it's one of the few Royal Paladin's strikes that actually help you retire stuff. Pretty card hero-ish, but I really like it. But it's a GB3 skill, but otherwise you still can use the skill for recruiting as well. 2 copies. 1 copy of Holy Dragon Brave Lancer Dragon, the card from Tri-3Nex. It's a generation rare, but generally we only play 1 copy because he is most likely the finisher of the deck, or so-called finisher, just in case you do not have resources in your hands. Skill. Count Blast 1 when this unit attacks the Vanguard, GB3. You may pay the cost of 1 Count Blast. If you do, search a deck for up to 3 cards with the Brave ability and call them to separate Vanguard circles and shuffle the deck. So, of course, a pretty damn amazing card. Count Blast 1, you can search 3 cards. Damn, sign me up. And so for each unit card, choose a card from hand, discard it. Oh, there's a drawback. So it's a very good card if you are running low on resources, since if you do not have any cards in your hand, you do not need to discard. So let's say you have 0 hand, this is the perfect time to call this guy, because you are netting 3 free units onto your field. Alright, so here's another skill, Brave. When your unit attacks, this unit gets a 3k power until end of battle. So when your unit attacks, so most likely is if your rearguard attacks, so if your, say, Altmile attacks, gives us 3k power. Another grade 2 attacks, again, has 3k power. Yeah, so and then you can attack, then call more stuff. Yeah, so it's very easily gains a 6k power. Pretty nice card to have. I use him a lot and I'm actually dying. And actually that sometimes brings me to games. 1 copy of Selphis, Lord Selphis. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, it will pay the cost of 1 Soul Blast. If you do, bind all cards of your hand. You can bind any number of cards in your hand so that you can perform Brave. So most likely you're going to trigger other Brave units on the field. And select 1 card on the field, it gives us 5k power. Yeah. And at the end of turn, select those cards sent to the bind zone back to your hand. So you won't lose any cards in order to activate Brave, which is the smart way to play Brave sometimes. So let's go on to our G Guardians. 3 copies of her. She kind of looks like a jewel knight. So Brave. So while you're in Brave, so you have 3 or less hand cards in your hand and you're pre-desperate. It is a 20k shield. When this unit is, and second skill, when this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle and you have an Altmile Vanguard, you may pay the cost of 1 Soul Blast. If you do, it gets additional 10k power. So instant 30k power is really good because most likely for 1 heal trigger, you're able to guard a strike unit, which is very worth it. Yeah. 1 copy of Laser Guard Dragon for a basic generation guarding. So if you do not have any huge attacks to guard, so something like Rear Guards, call this guy. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle and you have 2 or more you have 1 grade 2 Rear Guards, I'm so sorry. 2 or more is Gold Paladin one, kind of messed up. If you're 1 grade 2 on the field, you get a 5k shield. So it's 20k shield and of course 1 heal trigger. Good. So I hope you guys enjoy my deck profile on my Altmile Brave deck. If you like more deck profiles, be sure to like and comment and subscribe. Peace out and love you guys. Rawr.